The cost of living crisis in New Zealand. I've read the tweets, I've scoured the internet, I've rung the banks, and still the language is so confusing. It's essentially when the cost of everything is rapidly rising, so now things cost more than they used to. A dairy dollar bag mix used to get you this many lollies, and now it only gets you this many. It's no surprise to me that the media have gone into a frenzy now that the cost of living crisis have hit the middle class. And if that couldn't be any more blatantly obvious, here I am to talk to you about it. A single 25-year-old with no dependents who will benefit from intergenerational wealth, contributing to that media frenzy. This video is not for people who actually understand the cost of living crisis because they've been living it for longer than it's been on the media's lips. This video is for people like me who are privileged to clock for the first time. Yeah, groceries are going up. Gas is really expensive, and wine and cheese nights might have to become cheaper wine and cheese nights. And so, in all of this, I have to wonder, why do we declare it a cost of living crisis now? Can I get my friend to stop saying she's poor when she really means she needs to transfer money over from her big savings account? And can we please stop talking about money like we're the Wolf of Wall Street? Okay, can you start there? There you go. To talk to me today, we have an economist who claims he's able to make economics easy to understand. We'll see about that. Joining me today on the seats, we have Shamubeel Eaqub. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
What is the cost of living crisis?
The cost of living crisis is the cost of living has gone up much more than the wages have gone up. So people are finding it hard. They're paying more for food, more for fuel, more for rent, and there's just not much left at the end of the week.
How can we combat that? Can we combat that?
So there's a few ways that we manage inflation. The main way we reduce inflation is kill the economy.
Kill the economy, so we just don't buy things?
Yeah, pretty much at the margin. The economy slows. There's less stuff being produced, but we still have lots of businesses that are out there that want to sell you stuff. And they'll be like, okay, how can I get Janaye to buy more stuff?
I think I'm such a baby capitalist, like I love things. Is that making the cost of living worse for everyone else?
It's so easy to kind of be so individual about these things. Yeah. What we do is not going to affect the war in Ukraine. It's not going to stop the fact that we had a pandemic, that we have supply chain disruptions. But actually, it's much more collective. It's much wider than that. And that's why quite often the policy responses that we have, or the things that we want government or the Reserve Bank to do, is bigger than that.
It sounds to me like you place a lot of responsibility to the government to help us out of the situation.
The reality is that when it comes to the collective, that is the role of the government. And that is the role of the public institutions. We vote these people into power because we want them to make decisions on behalf of New Zealand.
Is there a political party that has policies that you align with the most as an economist?
No, it's not possible. Do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Because they get into power and they do the same thing as the last lot. The reason why we have poverty, the reason why we have the kind of inequality that we have is by choice. We choose not to look after these people. We choose not to take action because there's so little leadership and there's so little empathy and love in the way that we do politics and public policy.
Do you think our current economy is set up to trap people in poverty?
Yes, we don't have enough ladders for people to climb out. So if it was a game of snakes and ladders, I'd say all the snakes are at the bottom and all the ladders are at the top. So you're much more likely to fall out into poverty than climb out of poverty.
Fact or fiction, people who are experiencing poverty just need to work harder and can budget their way out of it.
It's a complete and utter lie.
Yeah.
Because it's completely preventable.
I've never heard that before, that poverty is preventable. People talk about it like an inevitable.
In a country like New Zealand, we choose to have the levels of poverty that we have. And I feel very frustrated by it because we know that if we had been more generous with them, if we gave them more support, for most people, they would be able to climb out.
Why has it now been declared a cost of living crisis when we have had that underbelly for so long?
So there is a difference between poverty and the increase in the cost of living, which also affects middle classes. And that's why it's in the headlines, because the middle classes have way more representation in our headlines and media and common narrative than poor people do.
I thought the cost of living crisis would help people develop more empathy to people who are experiencing and have experienced poverty for a long time, but I don't think I'm seeing that.
If you're empathetic, if you're truly empathetic, you'd want to pay more taxes. You'd want to have less handouts for government for yourself. Most people, when push comes to shove, will vote for their own comforts.
How do we, you and I sitting here, how do we help?
We're helped by acknowledging and understanding that this happens. Because, we can't be blind to the reality of what is happening in New Zealand. We have to talk about people as if they're humans, and they are. They're part of a community. It could happen to you. And those conversations happen a little bit individually, but fundamentally, I think they need to happen at a societal level.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're quite there yet.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Are you tired of living your life? The grind? Working hard? Great news! You can now play it as a game. The new and exciting That's Life.
Intergenerational wealth, you can collect 2 houses. Score!
Twists and turns. You'll never see what's coming next.
Uh-oh, your car gets repossessed. Take your character out of the car and free roam the board.
Tough luck, son.
Make calls on things you know nothing about.
The problem with gangs is...
Decide whether to pay for a new school uniform or go to the doctor.
Decisions.
It's fun for the whole family.
I don't want to play.
Neither do we, son. But hey,
That's life!
Now is a special inflation expansion pack version, where more gets you less.
honey, how much did this game cost?
Oh, just that power bill payment.